Cadillac is slowly but surely shaping up their priorities for 2026. And although the team principal has been confirmed for the first season, the latest developments with Horner could change the way the American team thinks. With the driver's philosophy changing day after day from two experienced drivers to one experienced and one young driver, and with Horner available for taking, what will the first year of Cadillac look like in terms of personnel? It's not a secret that Cadillac are talking to literally anyone available at this point of the Formula One news cycle. And with Horner now officially no longer part of Red Bull, some views from the American squad might be prone to changing. When they announced that they're entering Formula One from 2026 onwards with Ferrari-powered engines, the role of team principal was given to Graham Lodon. However, German media reports have started a very interesting chain of events. What if Cadillac decides to appoint Horner as their team principal now that the Brit is available? Of course, from his point of view, it's just a report from a media outlet, and we cannot really rely heavily on that. But if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. What they need as rookies on the grid is experience. That's why they're taking so long with choosing a driver from Bottas or Perez. Now, imagine how big of a challenge that would be for the team principal role, one that's supposed to lead the team in an upward spiral. It's a win-win situation for both sides. Horner would have a new challenge in terms of bringing up a team that's dubbed as an underdog due to their inexperience in the sport. On the other hand, Cadillac would benefit from his experience and would provide him with the ultimate redemption chance to prove to Red Bull that he wasn't the problem in the team. I don't have any bad words for Graham Lodon, but if we were to compare him and Horner, I don't think there would be much to say in terms of who would be more capable of leading the team to success. Of course, the past couple of years of Horner's career haven't been the proudest ones, and that could leave a permanent mark on his future endeavors. But this is a forgiving environment. Andretti said it himself. The performance of Lawson and Tsunoda in Red Bull has shown that Perez was not the problem. Why not have the same philosophy with Horner as well? That is a little bit of a far-fetched scenario as of now, although I do like to believe that the idea of Horner becoming team principal of Cadillac will be entertained over the next couple of weeks. There aren't many choices for the Brit as we speak. It's either that or become a part-team owner in a squad like Alpine, which I don't think is easily achievable due to the massive investment he needs to make. Over $300 million for a 20% stake in the team. Other teams like Aston Martin could provide similar roles like the one he's pursuing in Alpine, but the financial factor there would be even bigger and a lot harder to break down. So, there is a situation in which the only solution for Horner could be to return to the role of team principal. And here is where Cadillac fits the best. A new team, just like Red Bull back in 2005, with the sole difference that the new team principal now would be one with 20 years of experience in the sport. What drivers would he lead then? Even if Horner is not replacing Lodon and this ludicrous but rather brave idea is not exercised to the fullest, Cadillac still needs to choose two drivers for their lineup. Let's start with the experienced ones. There is a belief that Perez and Bottas are fighting for one of the seats, as Cadillac wants to have a youngster in the second one. That is something that needs to be proven by their actions. And when Bottas is in question, we do have an update from Toto Wolff, elaborating further on the future of his former driver from 2017 to 2021. Wolff has gone on to say, asterisk, we know Valtteri's priority is to try and find a race seat for 2026. He's eminently qualified to do that, and I'd say a front-running candidate in that regard as well. If that doesn't happen for whatever reason, then we would be very open to looking at how we can continue together. But we know his priority is to do that, and we hope that in hindsight we will have been able to be a platform for him to achieve that goal as well. Asterisk, Bradley Lord, the chief of communications at Mercedes, said that the development of Antonelli wouldn't have been possible without the input of Bottas. And that leaves us with the next question. Who would get the second seat? While it has been believed that Mick Schumacher has the upper hand over the rest of the youngsters, the latest reports state that the German driver will have a seat in the WEC category. This is something that hurts his F1 prospects to a greater extent, because being a reserve driver from Alpine to Cadillac doesn't actually change anything at all. Here, Felipe Drugovich has been mentioned as a very serious contender, because we kind of forgot that he had a very dominant F2 season in which he won the championship before he signed the contract as a reserve driver for Aston Martin. Of course, if Tsunoda becomes available, then it would change the landscape of how Cadillac thinks. Because compared to everyone else, including the current F2 competitors Jack Crawford and Alex Dunn, Tsunoda has the most experience of them all. He's driven for a midfield and backmarker team in AlphaTauri, and although the results in Red Bull are not really going in his favor, could a change of environment shift his focus and motivation as well? All of these questions are yet to be answered. But one thing is for sure, Cadillac is making moves, and they might have some of the best opportunities in front of them right now, with Horner available and with drivers like Bottas and Perez fighting for a seat. A potential dream lineup of two veteran drivers and an experienced team principal could lead them far ahead in the first year of the regulations. Will they commit to this bold move, or will they take the safe path and go with a youngster and Lodon as the leader? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.